All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Heat 1 from Volusia. John Rayner and Pops Moore on the front row. Greg Boydell, John Tobias on the second row. Bob DeGood and Roger Shank, the two newbies tonight, round out the field for Heat 1. Just waiting on the drivers to all get gridded. Last time we were here, we did see a little bit of chaos on the backstretch. Hopefully everybody can keep them intact and pointed the right way here tonight. Definitely had some close racing that brought about the chaos we saw. And I expect a lot more close racing here tonight. Everybody stacked up as they get the 1 to green. Pops Moore starting on the outside, but don't expect him to stay there long. We'll likely see him in the lead pretty quickly. He has been very, very tough to beat in these sprint cars. And here we go through 3 and 4. The pace car is headed in. The green flag flies. Heat 1 is underway at Volusia, and Pops drops to the bottom. Oh, we've got one in the wall. It's Rayner. Pops Moore to the lead. Greg Boydell currently in second. John Tobias in third. Pops already starting to check out to a big, big lead in Heat 1. His lead now a second over Boydell. Meanwhile, Bob DeGood now, Bob is in the wall hard. That was a tough run for Bob out of turn 2 into the outside wall. Meanwhile, Pops continues to extend his lead. Hey, good evening, Gene. How are you tonight, buddy? Newcomer Roger Shank now up into 4th in Heat 1. But Pops Moore once again dominates the sprint cars to win Heat 1. You gotta wonder if anybody can beat Pops in a sprint car. He's definitely put on a show this season. On to Heat 2, Kelly Wheeler and Armando Melgoza on the front row, Terry Landis and Mayor Bixler on the second row, Pat Boyce has the third row. Gene, I hope you get to feeling better, buddy. Pace car is rolling. Kelly Wheeler, Armando Melgoza, both drivers that know how to come through the field. Out of turn 4, they will get the 1 to green. Remember, Volusia is one of those tracks, as soon as the pace car hits pit road, the green flag flies. That'll definitely come into play in the feature on the restarts. Here they come, pace car about to drop in. Kelly Wheeler, Armando out front, green flag flies, they are away. Armando does not get off the line good. Terry Landis already underneath for the lead. Kelly Wheeler in a hard battle for second, but Wheeler gets one big run out of turn 4, clears into second, almost got to Landis. Pat Boyce now up into third. Armando's rough start has him back in fourth, now in fifth. Bixler now up into fourth as Landis continues to lay down laps and pull away. This could be a Landis versus Moore race in the feature. Two laps to go for Terry Landis, and he has got a 1 1/4 second lead here at Volusia. Oh, little bobble out of 4. The white flag flies one more time around. This time Landis running on the bottom. He even extended his lead. Landis will win Heat 2. Pat Boyce coming home in second. Kelly Wheeler in third. Now the drivers head out for warm-up. Two rookies in the field tonight. Things could get interesting. They're not used to running with this group, and this group obviously not used to having them here, so it could shake things up a bit. Be keeping a close eye on Roger Shank as well as Bob DeGood. But everybody has to get past the man in yellow, Pops Moore, the dominant sprint car driver this season. Just caught a glimpse, one of the drivers getting into the turn 4 wall. Running that bottom line through 3 and 4, that gap in the wall can easily bite you. It does all the time. Just over a minute left to go in warm-up, folks. Don't forget they have the damage turned off for the 2 retreads races. Keeping these guys in the fight, this group, all 55 and older. And some very high-rated drivers in the group, keeping the competition quite stiff week in and week out. Just a few seconds to go, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to go to the feature here at Volusia. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go from Volusia. Pops Moore, Terry Landis on the front row. Greg Boydell, Pat Boyce on the second row. John Tobias, Kelly Wheeler of the third row. Newcomer Roger Shank and Mayor Bixler on the fourth row. John Rayner, Armando Melgoza round out the top 10. The other new person here tonight, Bob DeGood, starts in 11th. Everybody out for the pace laps. Starting with a track that's already significantly slicked off. Drivers will have to use every bit of the track to find momentum and get past everybody to get to the front. It's definitely going to be a fun one. The middle line here at Volusia can get a bit tricky once the track slicks off, but if you can figure it out, I've seen guys shoot that middle to the front. And here we go, pace car diving in. Green flag is in the air. They are underway for the feature here at Volusia. Pops quickly to the lead as the battle's on for second. And a big battle back behind. Whoa! Things get a little spicy back behind. Cars losing ground. Pat Boyce lost a lot of ground on the first lap. Pat has already slipped back into 8th. He has got some ground to make up. Meanwhile, Pops Moore out front has set the fastest lap and likely not the last time he does it. Terry Landis, though, not far off his pace. Greg Boydell now in third. Kelly Wheeler in fourth. Mayor Bixler so far up 3 spots into fifth. The man on the move, though, is the rookie Bob DeGood up 4 spots into seventh. Pops Moore just set the fastest lap yet again, 14.29. His lap times continuing to get faster and faster despite the track getting slick. Kelly Wheeler now up into fourth is Mayor Bixler right on. Wheeler's bumper caution is out for the first time. John Tobias involved. Let's see what happened with Tobias coming through the slick. Down into 3 and 4. Oh, looks like half the car. Oh! Half the car in the slick, half the car out. He ends up hitting the turn 4 gap. That was one heck of a hard hit for Tobias. Man, somebody needs to go check on Tobias. That was a big hit. Hops Moore still in the lead. Terry Landis in second. Greg Boydell in third. Kelly Wheeler in fourth. Mayor Bixler in fifth. Should be getting 1 to green this time by. They'll stack back up. Landis had a pretty even pace to what Pops had on a lot of those laps, but the laps that Pop was setting the fastest lap, he was checking out. Landis has an opportunity here now if he can keep up. Here we go, into 3 and 4. Pace car heads in. Green flag is back in the air. Pops is off like a rocket. Terry Landis got a rough start. Drops back to third. Boydell now up to second. Here comes Bixler. Bixler battling with Landis for third place. Landis clears him for the moment as Pat Boyce now looks under Bixler, trying to get back toward the front. And a lot of bobbling back behind as well. Pops has already opened up a 1 second lead on Landis. Boydell in third, still has Bixler right on him. That Boy's right behind as well, and he is trying to use that bottom line. And caution is back out. John Rayner involved. Let's see what the replay shows us about Rayner. Looks like he got really slow out of turn 4. Oh, and hits the wall and stops in turn 2. Trying to see what happened to slow Rayner down so much. That was a lap or two before. Oh, Rayner goes way up the track, lost a lot of momentum through 1 and 2, trying to gather it back up as he goes into 3 and 4. Rayner way up the track through 1 and 2. Oh, Rayner got the wall. He rode the wall. Armando Melgoza has also unexpectedly gone to pit road. As they stack back up for the restart. Here we go. Pace car is back in. Green flag is back in the air. And once again, Pops is off like a shot, leaving Greg Boydell in second, battling with Terry Landis through 3 and 4. Landis has a bobble, but manages to hold on to it for the moment. Landis slides up and caution is out for one of the rookies. Looks like Bob DeGood had a problem behind. Let's see what it was. He's definitely slow on track. And ended up just stopping. See if we can see what happened. Oh! Man, they hit like a ton of bricks right off the green. Ouch. Track really slicking off there in the middle. Seeing a lot of guys trying to make that low line work, but man, not a lot of runoff into that slick. And we've seen a couple instances of what happens if you try and put one half the car in the slick and one half the car into the dirt. Still a lot of room up to the high side. Surprisingly, not seeing it utilized completely tonight. Usually at Volusia, we have guys on the wall all the way around. As here we come through 3 and 4, pace car heads in. Green flag is back in the air, 10 to go. Hops away like a bullet again. Meanwhile, 3 wide battling. Ooh. I believe that was Boydell that got bumped into the fence. Great recovery on his part. He is now back with John Tobias. Tobias in 6th, Boydell in 5th. And Terry Landis is on the move. Side by side into turn 1 with Pops. They have Mayor Bixler right on the bumper. And Landis takes the lead with 7 to go. Pops dropping it back to the bottom. Puts some space between him and Bixler. Now goes off into the slick. And he's gonna run. Landis still has the lead, but wow, Pops lost some momentum on that one. Landis is opening up the lead. Pops searching around for some good dirt and a good run. Meanwhile, Landis continuing to stay down on the bottom. And Pops had a big run. Bixler still in the mix for this three-car battle, and now Boydell in fourth is closing in. Pops leads with 3 to go. Bixler now battles for second place. He'll take it. Boydell now up into the mix as well. We saw Pops checking out early on, but he doesn't seem to be able to do it this time. Bixler right there with him. White flag flies one more time around. Who will it be? Pops has it. Oh, Bixler bobbled on the backstretch. And out of turn 4, Pops Moore wins once again. Hey, good evening, Quack. And good evening, Amy. Thank you for the raid. Pops Moore gets another sprint car win here tonight. Man, what a season he has been having. He may be unstoppable. Hey, good evening, Gabby. Just waiting to get a word with our top 3. And looks like 2 of our top 3 are available. So let's start with 3rd place, Terry Landis. Terry, it looked like early on in this you might have been the only one to stop Pops tonight. He definitely did, but you were in the early laps. You guys were actually alternating the fastest lap repeatedly. It was really quite entertaining to watch, but man, you gave it one heck of a run tonight. You come home in 3rd. That was quite a battle on that last 10 laps.
Foremost, we raced side by side real hard, and that's just cool to see him win. It was fun running, and when I passed him, that was really cool that he passed me back on the high side. I figured that was coming. Him and the mare.
Well, you guys put on one heck of a show tonight. You come home on a podium once again, man. Great job.
Thanks, Doug.
Anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Oh, sure. You for putting it on, because you put on a good show. And the seat to seat gives us a place to race. The admins behind the scenes. And then you got Kreitz oval track parts. And if you bend things, you call them, you get new stuff. And guys back KSR, Galen's Homegrown Popcorn, put the word card in, check out, and you'll get 50% off. You and my wife, Judy.
Great job, buddy.
Thanks.
Mayor Bixler coming home in 2nd. Mr. Mayor, that was one heck of a charge late in the race.
Oh, thanks, Doug. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had to look around and see where the grip was at, and Terry and Pops were putting on a pretty good race there in front of me. I couldn't tell who was leading. They were really, really tight. So, no, it was a lot of fun.
It definitely looked like a lot of fun. This track, definitely, you can go a lot of different places, even in the slick. If you nail it right, you're fast. And man, you guys battling in those top 3 spots, that was quite an interesting watch. And you could see those 2 were trying to keep their line. You were looking all over the place trying to find some speed.
Yeah, I just looking for the grip and that one restart there. I was on the bottom, and in 1 and 2 there was pretty good grip yet, and you could get a pretty good run there. But 3 and 4 you could hit it through the corner, but coming off you'd hit the slick. So it was a little bit tougher over in 3 and 4. But 1 and 2 on the bottom had some pretty good grip. So it was a pretty good track tonight. We had multiple grooves.
Oh, it definitely worked out in your favor. Another couple laps, you might have been up there running with Pops and battling for the lead. But, man, awesome finish. Great job. Is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Well, first of all, I got to congratulate Pops there. He did a really good job. He was beating me off of 4. It's where he was beating me. And no, I got to thank the Salty Dogs Racing team. What a great bunch of guys to run with there. I got to thank Mauer Farm Management, our longtime sponsor here, the Retreads, and I got to thank you, Doug, for putting on the broadcast.
Well, man, great job. One heck of a run. Congratulations.
All right, thanks, Doug.
And finally, our winner, Pops Moore. Pops, this is kind of becoming a habit in these sprint cars. You can't stay out of victory lane.
Well, I almost did there. I got to hats off to Terry there, man. He made that bottom work, and he made me go to the top and work for it there. That was fun.
He definitely did. I could tell when you lost some ground to him, you had to go to the bottom just to reel him in, and then you were struggling to make the move up top for quite a few laps.
Yeah, I couldn't quite figure out 1 and 2. If I wanted to enter maybe mid-track and let it slide up, I think I did that a couple of times, and that wasn't working at all. And then I think I just started, I thought, well, once he got by me, I thought, man, I'm just going to have to put it on the top in 1 and 2 and let it eat. And if you entered real high and then just let it eat through the corner, that was working pretty good, and I think that's where I started making up a little time on him.
It definitely was, and you managed to pull back to the lead, and you were once again gone. But I have to say, early on, you were on the start like a bullet, and man, you were gone. Checked out to a 1 second lead in like 2 laps.
Wow, cool. Yeah. That's fun. I like this track, though. This is one of my favorite tracks. So
it definitely shows every time we come here, man. Congratulations on another win. Is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I don't thank Mauer Farm Management for their sponsoring this deal tonight. Then I got to give Rona and Rick a shout out, and the guys in Discord at SRC and Young Guns Creations for their wrap that he did for me here not long ago. So, and then Doug, I got to give you a shout out, man, and thank you for putting this thing on. I wish your videos were easier to find, though, man. I'm having a
I'll
hard
see
time
if I can
finding
help you out after the race tonight, buddy.
Thank you, Doug.
Pops Moore back in victory lane at Volusia. And folks, we're just getting started. They're about to unpack the Indy cars at Daytona, 230 plus miles an hour down the back stretch. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few moments from Daytona.